Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And T-Mobile continues to impress. So I can sit here and make videos moving forward and talk about how T-Mobile needs to increase their CapEx. They need to do this, that, and the third, right? But they continue to show progress even with the lesser CapEx compared to their competition. So what you're seeing on screen is a low-res shot, but it was the best picture that I was able to find from a before picture of the cell site. So what you're seeing on screen is a old Sprint CDMA site. It was on T1 backhaul, just a very, very old cell site that even after merger, T-Mobile customers could not roam on because it didn't have any LTE. So no device from the T-Mobile side would have connected to the cell site, or they wouldn't have been able to communicate. It couldn't do VoLTE. So it was just a mess, right? So, and I'll show this here in a series of pictures so you guys can see there is a different program. So there's Sprint Keep sites, and then there's Sprint Retain program. The Sprint Retain program, I have been told, are sites that were decommissioned like very early on. Very early on, post-merger, these sites were turned off and they were placed on a Sprint Retain program because T-Mobile would retain those sites at a later time. So that has now happened in the case of this tower. This is in New Mexico. This is very rural. This is by a military base. And T-Mobile now is the only carrier in this area that has an actual tower structure with any service. This is the first of any kind that I've ever seen that happen, to where T-Mobile is the only one with service and AT&T and Verizon have literally zero. SOS, no bars. That's the first of its kind that I've seen. So I wanted to share that with you guys in this video and share some other pieces to that as well. So you guys can see this is something I got a while back. I'll just make it public. It's an internal thing that I got, but I'll make it public. It's not a big deal. The site's up and running now. It's live. So the site is running on T1 and only offers Sprint CDMA service, so it was no good. So no RMOCN. So the RMOCN was where the T-Mobile customer could connect to the Sprint cell site if a Sprint LTE cell site was available. In this case, it was not. So T-Mobile customers cannot use that tower. They just were not able to connect. The site is on a retain program. Again, there's the Sprint Retain program. Unfortunately, I don't have a date for on air. This is a unique situation because it's dealing with the military. So military gave them approval. They got approval. They went and upgraded. And here's what the site looks like now. Boom. This is the site now. As you can see, it's microwave backhaul. It's hard to get fiber out to these places. It's like super rural. There's no population other than the military population and the cars that drive by on Highway 213. They're going to White Sands, Las Cruces, if you guys are familiar with the area. So T-Mobile is now on this structure the only carrier in that area that has any adequate cell service. There might be, if you continue traveling on 213, you might be able to continue keeping service 1 to 2 bars on Verizon and AT&T. But once you get off the highway and you get onto the base indoors, nothing. Verizon and AT&T will not work. So I'll give you guys a quick backstory on Verizon. So Verizon used to have cell service at this base, but for whatever reason, they placed a temporary cell site that ended up being permanent because it was just there so long. And it was a weird cell site. I've seen it before. This was like back in 2017, 2018. So a worker that works there, a civilian worker, used to have to go turn on the generator to get the cell site turned on. So once everybody left at night, the cell site would be turned off. And then during the day, it got turned on. It was like some weird cell site that I have never seen before. That was the first time I've ever had any experience with a cell site like that. It was gas operated, just a weird cell structure never seen before. for me myself. That has since been removed. That's why Verizon no longer has any service in that specific area. None. And I don't know, maybe they plan on getting a permanent structure close. Maybe they'll be allowed to co-locate on this one. But for now, T-Mobile went from worst to first, and they're the only ones with adequate service across this landmass. So I'll leave a link to the post that I made on X in the description. There's a speed test in that post as well. I got about 235 down, about 30 something up. I was very close to the site, so I may have gotten like a waterfall effect. Got a bit further from the site. I got over 300. I wasn't expecting anything crazy because it is on microwave backhaul. I don't expect them to get any fiber out there. If Verizon and AT&T co-locate there, I also don't expect them to get any fiber. The other base, my other job site that I posted about recently as well, that there is no fiber. It's just not possible, and it's not cost efficient to build fiber. So there as well, Verizon and AT&T are on microwave backhaul. So everyone's on microwave backhaul, but for this one, T-Mobile went first. I'll check in from time to time to see if Verizon and AT&T do anything, but for now, as it stands, T-Mobile went from worst to first, and they are the first with adequate full 5G service in this area. So let me know your thoughts in the comment sections. I want to hear from you guys. Again, this is impressive, right? This is good to see. This is what's needed for competition. Could they now possibly get some of these military agencies, government contracts, right? It remains to be seen, but they're putting their hat in the race. They can now bid on the contract if there's any bidding because they have service. Before they didn't, so it wouldn't have made sense for them to bid on anything or to get involved in any conversations. But now that changes completely. They still have more work to do. And again, to close out the video, I will not say that they are the best or will be the best because they have more work to do. They have more work to do on the reliability piece. They got to add more backup power to sites. They got to add more sites, period, right? So that's all work that has to continuously happen. But progress is progress. Stuff like this helps them keep the churn as low as possible. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Follow the social media outlets for more updates and interactions. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.